first day of that VISTA class is one of the best part of this year. The very first class we spent an hour and a half I have this issue in my classroom, I have no idea what to do, and then everyone in the class was like, oh, I've tried this, have you tried doing this? Oh, this might work, I've had this work before. And I think that honestly was one of the most helpful things.
I think the VISTA program has probably been the biggest single factor in improving as a teacher in my short career.
My name is Caitlin Knott. I teach at James Wood High School. I'm a chemistry teacher. I have 10th through 12th graders.
Cool. My name is Howard Thomas. I teach 6th grade science. It's a combination of earth science and general sciences, and I teach it at Auburn Middle School in Fauquier County, Virginia. After 35 years working for the federal government, both as an employee and as a contractor, I found that I was enjoying getting up in the morning less and less. And when I found myself without a job, thanks to a layoff, I decided this was the time to pursue teaching.
I've heard horror stories about first year of teaching, and it's actually gone really well. I definitely think VISTA has helped with that.
As I'm entering my second year of teaching, I've found that the biggest challenge that I seem to run into repeatedly is a misconception or preconception of the level that my students are at when they start.
I think one of the hardest things was starting from scratch, knowing what was going to work, what wasn't going to work, kind of just coming up with practice questions and the best way to introduce things. I've also had a lot of troubles with having an idea of how long everything is going to take. Activities that I think will take 10 minutes end up taking 45, and also papers, collecting papers and then deciding how I'm going to grade it. Is this accuracy? Is this completion? Should this be 10 points? Should this be 30 points? I've had a hard time with that. Really liked having someone to kind of throw ideas around and give me their advice. You have how many more years than I do experience. Forewarn me if I'm thinking of an idea that is going to send me down a terrible path. Yeah.
I believe that the secondary teacher's education program is an awesome thing for me as a student because it does help me address those issues. It gets my mind to really start to focus in on, to try and be prepared ahead of time instead of having to wing it as something arises.
It's awesome to have people to talk to. Sometimes I wonder if it's a silly question, and I'll ask one of my friends with VISTA, and they're like, oh, I just asked somebody else that today. That's been incredible coming out of college.
It's not just the methodology that they're teaching here, but I've found the insights into preparation and forethought planning my lessons has been a huge help to me.
I've done 2 labs now that I've gotten the ideas from other VISTA students, and we've thrown ideas around, and I'm like, oh, I'll try that, and it's worked out really well.
Oh, nice.
So the resources that with buying stuff for our classroom has been awesome.
The repertoire of strategies and planning ideas that I've received here have been a big help so far, and I can only anticipate they're going to get to be a much bigger part of my daily life as a teacher.
Later. So it's all very quick, whirlwind, but it's worked out really well. So
I think the most valuable part of the VISTA program in my classroom is the poster that we received the first day of class. Now sits in a prominent spot next to my whiteboard in class, and just by having that as a visual aid, I think I've been able to make my lessons much more relevant to my students in terms of showing them why science is the way that it is, what constitutes good science, what constitutes the nature of science. I think that sort of lesson or that sort of information for the students has really given them the opportunity to find out what's in it for me.